Hey guys, I've gotten a few requests on how I batch edit photos in Sessions by doing it automatically and having the computer open, run the edit, um, save and close all on its own. So basically, the most important part of this all is I have two folders. The most important is I have a folder, it's called Batch, and I have it open all of the time. It's just located in my pictures file because it's easy to find. Starts at B, so it's at the beginning of the pictures file most of the time. I open this folder every time I edit a session. And so what I do is I take the folder from the session that I want to edit. Here I just have copies of these because this is not actually how I want to edit these, but I just want to show you quickly. I'm going to move the files that I want to edit over to the batch folder from the regular one. And I'm going to close that down. So from this one, we're doing it for my Christmas. These are my kids. I was doing some promo shoots with them in the studio. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm not going to do some cleanup editing, skin editing, stuff like that I would do further after batch editing. This is just to show you how to have the computer do it for you and get those consistent edits throughout your entire session without having to sit at your computer for 30 minutes, 2 hours, however long it might be. So from here, I'm going to lower down my batch folder. I'm going to open a file and I just hit Control Open. Over here, I'm going to select from my batch folder and I'm just going to pick this first one and open it. From here, I'm going to slide on down or slide up to the default actions and you're going to hit over here. It looks like a paper with the left bottom corner lifted. That's how you create a new action. I'm going to call this one Christmas Batch Edits, if I could spell. And so then you just hit record, and from here, the computer, Photoshop is going to record everything that you're doing. So I want to, I have so many that I've done. Here, I think I'm going to slide down to, I'm just going to pick one. And then from here, you're just going to hit the play button. Make sure you don't hit the record button because that means you're going to, get rid of your recording. If at any point you want to stop, you just hit the stop button and you can hit the record again and pick up where you left off. But you just hit play to play the action within the action that you're creating. So over here, you can still go in and adjust if you want to lower any of these. Change this up a little bit. Maybe I just want to run this at half opacity. I'm going to do that. And then from here, you're just going to hit Control Shift E to flatten your image, or if you're on a Mac, I'm sure you know what your shortcut keys are. From there, my image is flattened, and I'm going to go up to save it, and I just hit Control Shift S to save. Again, I'm going to save it as the same file name. Yes, I want to override it, and I'm going to keep it at full size. And then from here, you're just going to close it out, so it's Control W. From there, you've got your action complete. You hit stop. If you wanted to do multiple actions, you could. You could close out the one action, or if they're stackable, you can run them both. And so then once it's closed out, I just go up here and you can see it's got the action that I played. I changed this layer. It's going to change every layer exactly like what I asked. Changes the opacity, and then it tells you here it's going to save your quality and where it's saving. So again, into that batch folder, which is so important. Then it closes it out. And so with batch editing, it's automatically going to open the next file. I don't want to re-edit the photo that I just did, so I'm going to pull that out. So close those down. From here, you're going to want to go up into File, right down here to Automate, and you're going to hit Batch. From here, you can see where the actions are that you're going to be playing while you're batch editing. Mine is in the default actions because it's the action that I just created. I can find it right here, but it's already picked it up because I've got it highlighted over here in my actions bar. Now this is just saying this is the source of the images that you're going to be batch editing. So it's generally a folder. It can be images that you've opened into Photoshop already. But like I said, I use that batch folder, which is the easiest way for me. You can always change that here and you can pick where it's at. And then this is if you have any kind of stops or open commands in that action, but we don't today, so we're not going to worry about that. As you get more familiar with batch editing, you'll figure out what that means and how you want that to go. So from here, I just hit OK, take my hands off my mouse, and I literally can walk away from my computer at this point because it's going to edit. Flatten it, save it, close it, and move on to the next image. So this is great because When I'm editing a session, I'll probably move about 7 or 8 over because that's about all I can focus on at a time. If I want to do more in-depth skin edits or blemish touch-ups, or, you know, like on that one, I needed to have the backdrop extended because I shot a little crooked because, again, it was my wild little kiddos. So I only do a couple, and you can see that was done in less than a minute. All of those images, when you take out all of the clicks, it really makes a big difference in saving time. For weddings, if I have a bunch of consistent shots that I want them all edited exactly the same, and I don't have a ton of extra in-depth Photoshop editing to do, I will just move pretty much the entire folder or whatever portion of it is similar enough. So maybe the entire reception, I'll slide it over to my batch folder, hit batch edit on whatever recorded action that I've created, and I go to bed for the night. And when I wake up, it's done for me. So you can see those were all done. They're in the batch folder, and that's really it. If you have any questions, I'd be happy